Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to your general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon or Rising for April 2021 or whenever you're led to it, to be quite honest. So general reading rules apply. Roles can get reversed if someone else turns up in these cards, which looking at these cards may be an issue for this one. Timing is far from absolute, and this reading, it has a past and a present. So if the past and the present don't fit, don't try to make it fit. When all said and done, it's YouTube, it's for entertainment only. But also go and watch your moon or your rising sign instead. If you don't know what your rising sign is, there's a link in the description down below. You'll also find a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel. I tend to post these videos, obviously, and sometimes when I remember, I post the astrology weather forecast videos that I'm watching and hopefully learning from. But yeah, with when I say this is either for you or it's not, like I say, use your discernment. Don't give your power away to me, some nobody on YouTube. But also ask a question prior to the reading. Think about all the questions that surround you and focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them because cards will answer what they want. They don't necessarily have the same sense of priority as you and I. So that focus gives energy to the process, which hopefully I will return to you. And if I don't, then somebody will. Somehow the universe will do it. So that's even quicker. I don't think I've missed anything. I'm getting through this waffle bit at the start even quicker nowadays. So let me bring up the cards. Okay, it's not the most in focus, so I apologise for that. Best I can do at the minute. Now, there's two ways to look at this reading, Gemini. On one level, looking at what's going on here, and Uriel, I didn't pull that out during the shuffle video because I forgot. There's a sense of, oh my God, what have you done? But I don't think that's entirely fair. What I'm seeing here is, and this will be in reference to your question, so it either is for you or isn't, there's a new beginning that you've had reasonably recently. Now, recently, that's your own scale. You know, that could be last week, it could be last year. But there was something where you was all set up for, after some form of loss that you experience, is like, I need a new plan, project, dream to go forward with. I need something, and it slowly began forming, and then you went, right, that's it, I'm going for it. Yes, clarified by, we have the Fool here as the energy that you entered into this current phase of life on this situation, clarified by the Sun and the King of Wands. So clarified by the happy, happy, joy, joy card, as I always call it, and my favourite card, the King of Wands, giving that you really felt like this was the right thing to be doing, that you was enjoying it, so you decided to take a chance on it. And as much as you were creating exactly what you wanted to create, it caused some small amount of conflict at the time, or you was aware that conflict was brewing on the horizon, I think might be a better way of putting it. But I think you kept with it. Now, interesting, Wheel of Fortune here, whatever you were doing was probably affected by the pandemic. You know, by the look of things, the Wheel of Fortune can represent taking a chance. It can represent the forces of the universe working with you, or that you are victim to those forces of the universe. And we have the Queen of Cups here, so your idea is maturing, your idea is developing from the page to the Queen, and you were still really, really happy with it. 10 of Cups here. But you were still at the mercy of the whims of fate. There was outside influences to put it mildly, that were restricting you somehow, that were keeping you not away from pursuing your dream, but hamstrung, um, that you're restricted in just how much you could bring this new beginning that you'd already started into being. And although you had, right, although you had quite a firm, safe foundation, King of Coins here, you were getting quite bored with what you were able to do and what you were not able to do. You were frustrated. Now, there was guidance there at the time, but you have been feeling without, I think is a good way to put it, that there isn't enough something, whether that's finances, whether that's support, whether there was certainly a something, and this lack of something is the causes of something that you are trying to eliminate at the moment, but it's proving to be harder than you thought. You are needing the strength to forge ahead. I think you're needing the strength to really go forward now with the dream as it has matured into that Queen of Cups. You are still, with it being Queen rather than King, you are still exposed to external forces that can come and upset it all, like everybody else. But as you are forging ahead, there seems to be a certain amount of confusion about what you are. I think it's about what precisely are you trying to accomplish, or how you are supposed to be using this dream to further your own ends. And this Queen of Swords, she seems really mean. To be quite honest, it's like that. We're getting rid of that. Whatever it is, you're getting rid of it. Whether you're trying to eliminate some force of distraction or some force of restriction, but at the very, very same time, is why am I even going down this path? I'm happy as I am, and but you're not here. 9 of Coins here, with King of Swords, and then 9 of Swords right on the better, right on the underneath. Yeah, my words are working today. So yes, it's like, I'm fine. I can do it all myself. I'm doing absolutely fine. I'm able to cut off what I need to cut off. I'm doing what I need to do. And that's what I'm getting from this divine pairing from King of Swords as to how you're feeling, to Queen of Swords as to what you're doing or what you're experiencing. However, underlying it all is quite a severe anxiety, which is understandable when in the hopes and fears section you have the 8 of Swords, that sense of anxiety and self-entrapment. I would take a breath. And I think that's all. You don't need to change a great deal. Just take a breath and try and chill that anxiety out, because you are feeling, this probably makes more sense. One of the things I was saying that you was without, like money or support. I think it's probably more the support, because clarity is coming in at the moment all around you, that the why you're doing or how you are going to do it. And there is a commitment coming up. There is an internal commitment coming up, and an external one. 4 of Wands here, 4 of Wands here. So, for instance, if there was a love reading, you might be doubling down on a relationship where you've been thinking, hang on a minute, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And then decide, no, well, we're going to do it. We're going to do it because I think this is what I want. see what clarifies this. Ooh. So you have a choice of a commitment. So we've got, under this Four of Wands, the Lovers and Five of Cups. So there's still that sense of loss. I wonder if this is some old sense of loss that is steering your actions at the moment and doesn't necessarily need to. Yes, because whatever that loss was in the past, you just went, stuff it. I'm getting out of this. I'm leaving. This thing that I've lost, it meant all these things to me, and I'm putting it all aside. There's a certain bucket that I know a couple of people will name on astrology videos here, and yes, you put it in that bucket, but I'm not going to say it because I don't like to swear on YouTube. And then underneath this, there is the Seven of Swords. So this was a strategic move on your part, but somewhere around here, there's been a lie. Whether this is a lie you've told yourself, or a lie that you have told people, or a lie that has been told to you, I think whatever this lie was, knowledge of it has come up again. It's been pointed out to you because we have, from the Wisdom of the House of Night, the Honesty card, which is pretty much asking you to be honest. And also Uriel from the Tarot de Los Angeles. Now I'm just going to read out what Uriel, assuming I can find where, here we are. The angel who keeps the keys, seraphim and cherubim. This represents the angel of repentance. It symbolizes the punishment that has to be endured for errors that have been committed. It predicts difficulties that have to be endured in order to get ahead. Now, it looks to me like you are enduring those difficulties right now. Take heart, because these later cards look a lot more positive if you allow them to be. Because notice on the final outcome card here, we've got the Nine of Swords on the top of the pile. So I think there's very much, it depends on your own mental activity, your own way of how you are going to feel about yourself within this situation as you move forward. Because there is a choice being offered to you here. But it's a choice that brings up that sense of loss all over again. Which is why I think that attention is being brought to that lie well in the past. Because as a reaction to that lie, you wanted to set things right. And the only way you set things right was setting out on this new purpose, new dream. I don't want to say new relationship. It does not feel, but then again, it never does. It's me reading them. But an injustice was recognized, and you were developing the talents to overcome this. And I think that was developing those talents is what you set you out on going, all right, this is what I'm going to be doing for the near future. This is the direction that I am heading in. But the choice to recommit or to commit to something extra, Four of Wands here, Four of Wands here, this commitment business, with the Queen of Swords and that Ace of Swords, it really is either commit to some form of, well, Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck, bottom of the third deck here, some form of partnership, some form of working with someone. And you're like going, yeah, I'm fine on my own. Thank you very much. I don't need any assistance. That's making more sense now. I don't need any assistance. I've been doing it on my own recently, and I'm going to keep doing it on my own. And really, really, we've got this Nine of Swords at the very bottom of how you are feeling. There are fears, there are worries, there are nightmares that need to be dealt with, because by the looks of that Nine of Swords on the final outcome card, so one way that you may be coming to terms with this anxiety. Yeah, Nine of Swords on the final pile is saying that if you do not get rid of these anxieties, you do not do something to resolve them, they're still going to be there. There's something that needs setting right. And I do believe that by taking a certain partnership, you help set that right. But in order to take that partnership, you do have to confront whatever this lie in the past was, whether it was you or whether it was somebody else. There is no judgment on the lie that was told, either by you or by somebody else, even though it had such a dramatic effect at the time. Now, that's in the past. It's gone. It's not something that you need to worry about. But how other people... Right, so how other people are affecting you. We have the Devil card. So I'll pull one of my demon possessed tarots at the moment. With the Four of Wands and the Three of Wands. One way of interpreting that little pile, and I don't think this is the right one, but somebody is asking you to commit to an offer as if they are dragging you onto the dark side. And you're concerned that you're left waiting for your ships to come in, but they could also be waiting for their ships to come in, whether that's a real thing or not. Now, that's not necessarily how I'm seeing, because I'm picking up, I actually feel ambivalent about this devil. I'm not like going, oh, no, bad, 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 bad. I'm ambivalent, which to me represents that there may be someone going, oh yeah, join with me, and that's just a mistake and you'll be waiting for your ships to come in forever. Or there is someone who is trying to give you forward movement. They are with the Three of Wands here, and they are trying to get you to commit to forward movement. Now that's, I think the ambivalence rather says what they're trying to do is to get you to commit to that forward movement, not necessarily forward movement with them, just move forward, god damn it. You know, that's what I feel that they are saying. Because so that may well be two different people there. One who is, oh, come to the dark side, I'll make everything fine. And the other one who is saying, for God's sake, do something. Stop wallowing in, yeah, you had a raw deal. You've needed strength to get through it. You've got strength to get through it. You've already demonstrated you have the strength to get through it. So just be aware of that and keep going. So let's see what the Demon Possessed Tarot have got to add to this one devil card. So clarify this devil card for me, please. Right, that jumped out. So we have the Six of Pentacles. Yes, they're trying to get you to see the value in what is around you at the moment, which is, so I'm going to go along the side of, go with the person who is trying to get you to move forward. Whether you're moving forward with them or not is totally irrelevant, because, hey, you want to be this self-sufficient unit with the Nine of Pentacles here, and you keep saying that you are, so prove it. That's what I think they're saying here. Now, Six of Pentacles in this deck is represented by the Goetic spirit Amy, who teaches astrology and liberal sciences, reveals hidden treasure, and brings excellent familiars. So there is, they are bringing, maybe it's useful contacts, maybe they are a useful contact, but they're also, Six of Pentacles assigning value and revealing hidden treasures. Open your eyes, Gemini. Open your eyes, because there's something good around you, which you did used to. Now that's, I'm not sure. You launched on this particular course of action as a rejection of something else, but now I think you are getting to a point where you can see that you can carry on this course of action, not as a rejection to something in the past, but for the sake of this course of action, that it is a good thing, that this, it doesn't matter how I ended up here, I actually really like this feels right, this is something I'm good at, this is something that will help me express my own nature in a better way. So I really like this here. We've got the 7 of coins with the Empress. So you work towards your harvest, you're going to get your harvest. And it really is 6 of Pentacles again. Look, somewhat again, there's the seeing the value. So stick with it, Gemini, because as much as someone else is trying to get you to see the value, you are going to see that value very, very shortly. Clarified with the Ace of Cups here. So whether that's a sense of being in love with a person or being in love with what you are doing, obviously I tend towards the latter. But with the Empress underneath, that harvest, thinking of that line of hidden treasures, that harvest that you walk towards is actually going to be better than you think. It's still going to feel on the short term, there's going to be that sense of loss, that sense of poverty, that sense of I haven't got everything that I am requiring. But you can put an end to that sensation by just realizing, yeah, okay, you've planted a seed, you've planted a field, and all you've got is a field of little tiny seedlings. Well, seedlings grow, that there is that harvest to come, which things are going to step up. And wow, we have the King of Cups. I really like, there's the Queen. So Page, Queen, King. Okay, the King's in a different suit, different deck, but it's looking towards that evolution of whatever your current plan is. And it's showing that you are under the influence of that Hanged Man here, that you are going to be seeing it in slightly different eyes. Because right now, yeah, you're questioning, is it worth it? Do I really want to carry on with this? Do I really want? Well, the answer is yes, but only once you understand why. If you don't see the point, there is no point. But there is a point, so you have to go and see it. Because Ace of Coins, oh look, a new beginning. Clarifying the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles, as I say every time it comes up, level 1 complete, begin level 2, and become a beginner on level 2. But this strength that you've been having to show recently is becoming an asset to your future efforts. We've got the strength here. These 2 piles here represent a potential future. Or maybe 2 potential futures, but I think it's just the one at the minute. You can either grab it or you can avoid it. So we have King of Wands, Queen of Wands, 9 of Wands. You can, so divine pairing, okay, not the same deck, but the same pile, same position. So you have got the responsibility, the organization, the strength, and the ability to manifest what you are working towards. And yes, it's coming from a point of woundedness and coming from a point of being tired, but hey ho, that's life. This 9 of Wands, if you look at her, she is confident. She might be tired, but she's also nearly there. She has defined her own territory, as you can see by how the other ones are laying around. And yes, that's come from being aware that she needs to define that territory and she needs to protect herself to a certain extent, and that she has needed to fight, but the rewards are here. So with this Strength card, clarified by, will you stop worrying, Gemini? We've got the 9 of Swords again. and we have the Sun. So I'm rather feeling that anxiety, you're going to have to work on it. It ain't going to disappear overnight. That's for sure. Nine of Swords here, Nine of Swords here, and Nine of Swords in how you are feeling. All three Nine of Swords. But the clue to that anxiety is in whatever this lie that was told, whether by you or another, all that time ago that set you on this current path at the moment. There is a good reason, I feel, for being on this current path, but there's no good reason for being on it if you can't see what the good reason is, if that makes sense. So let's have a look at the hopes and fears. So Gemini, from this, what I'm getting, we've got Eight of Swords, which I have to confess, Eight of Swords is one of my favourite cards. It's not the favourite card. This one, I don't feel that she's caught in a web per se. It's more that she's put herself in the web and is pulling the strings. It reminds me of, if you read comics, the Spider-Verse comics, where there was some character, I think he was called Kane, who sat in this interdimensional web of life, and was able to be aware of and to some minor extent manipulate the events that he was witnessing through the information that came to him through the web. There's another Eight of Swords that I have that always reminds me of like being plugged into a gigantic computer network. And with that, the Chariot and Death and Rebirth. So you, as much as you're actually scared of things changing, it seems like maybe you're scared of letting go of this anxiety. Get over it, use it for the tool that it needs to be, which is creating a rebirth. That's what nines are all about. Let's have a look at the final outcome card. The other reasons, before I do that, let's go through the oracle cards that support this. So we have, you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo? Yeah, full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. So that's hammering the message home, as does this Morgan Le Fay card, which is about being aware that there is magic in life and you can create what you are wanting to create. But you have to be honest, that honesty card. You have to be receptive. We have Medusa here representing the feminine energies. And it can also represent the injustice that occurred all that time ago, because we then have victim mentality from the Quantum Oracle, which was obviously defining how I was interpreting all these cards. But right under it, because two came out, intuition and manifestation. The Four of Cups, where was it? Right. The Four of Cups, which is a time that you're in at the moment and passing out of, well, in at the moment of this reading being relevant, but passing out of, is showing as much as you're bored, there is guidance there. There is guidance for you to look at. Things are coming to a head. Israfel, the angel of song from the Angelarium, heralds, I'm not going to say the end times, but with all this 999 business, sounding like Herman Cain again, there's, yes, an end times, but it's an end to the anxiety. It's an end to the reason, because I really like this Nine of Swords at the end, because this particular one always reminds me not of a nine, but of an ace and an eight combined. You have the Ace of Swords right in the center, which is delivering that wisdom. So yeah, sleepless nights. But sleepless nights where you're thinking about things and that thinking produces something. It has a reason for it. You can come to a conclusion, because with that Eight of Swords, I'm rather seeing that representing the energies that are the information that is coming to you to help you figure everything out. Because right beneath, yes, Right beneath it, we have the Emperor, so you're taking charge, taking control, and the Ace of Wands surging ahead forward. So whatever this anxiety is, dive into it, figure it out. And a lot of it is the whole reason you started on this course of action is that some lie was told and it broke things. Whether you told it or anybody else told it, doesn't matter. But some lie was told and it broke things and you went, well, stuff that, I'm going this way. Now it's facing, to a great extent, the emotional ramifications of that, because it's maybe there's a fear of that lie being told again, whether by you or by somebody else. But I do like this Two of Cups on the bottom of the second clarification deck. It is telling me that there is some form of partnership, some form of coming together, some form of healing, unifying that can be achieved. This anxiety that you've had, are having, and will continue to have for a while, it seems, is a tool in your toolbox. This is something that you can actually use to your benefit, to fuel how you are going forward. But it's not something that you should be suffering under all the time. You've experienced the suffering under it. Own it now, because figure out, theoretically you know where it's come from, but yeah, you probably still have to sort through all the emotions and have some form of enlightenment about how it's been controlling you since and where it is. Well, or rather, a lot of the obvious ways how it's been controlling you, but you need to look at the less obvious ways of how it's been controlling you, because they're the ones that are threatening to trip you up at the moment, because this anxiety going ahead looks like it's informing you, and it's informing you with information that is a gift that helps you surge ahead. So never forget how awful that anxiety felt, but don't be hamstrung by it. Use it as the fuel. This anxiety is your tool, and I think that's what I'm going to call the reading. So, that was a good one. If this means anything to you, Gemini, comment down below. It's always good to hear when a reading hits home, especially one like this, because it looks like you're in a process of torturing yourself at the moment, and you don't need to be, but you need to be in that process to stop doing it, if that makes sense. So comment down below. Obviously, like, share, subscribe. That would really help. And I will see you in whenever the next reading is. Cheers.